So guys, this is my review for Fena Pirate Princess episode number 7. With that guys, let's jump right into this review of episode 7. Let's get it. So the beginning of episode 7, which is titled The Burning Sea, the episode is just centered around Shetana and Cruz. They're back at the boat, and what ends up happening, because it's like they're bored and they can't, well they're restless. I shouldn't say bored, they're restless because it's nighttime. They're supposed to be, most of them, a few of them supposed to be asleep. They're trying to sleep, some of them can't, and basically, like even like Shetana, he couldn't even sleep. He was laying down in his bed, he couldn't even sleep, and Makaba couldn't sleep, so he ended up getting up and getting dressed, and he goes out on top of the boat with his gear on and his bow, looking like he's getting ready to head on out to leave, when he ends up running into the twins, who are basically geared up, and they're on the side boat ready to leave too. But pretty much what ends up happening is everybody comes out to the top of the boat, and they're noticing these three out here, and they're just basically talking. Well, almost everybody except for Shetana. Shetana was the only one who wasn't, and they basically just are just like, well, it seems like, the twins are heading out to go save Fena. Makaba's like, I might as well join y'all. Every other people were just saying the same thing. Like, we just go on ahead, just go, let's do this. Shetana comes out, and they're like, oh my gosh, like you caught us red-handed, but we need to, look, we just need to go save Fena. It's the right thing to do. But Shetana's like, look, y'all can do what y'all want, y'all can leave. I'm just gonna go on ahead and just return back to the island. And then that's when Makaba basically, like, he convinces Shetana, because he tells him, like, look dude, like, when I made these bows special, and you were the only one who could use these bows. You were the one who was keeping Yukimaru in check. It was you who uh, told me, like, I'm the one that needs to look after Yukimaru. I'm the one that needs to make sure he stays out of trouble. This is what you do when it's pertaining to my bows. And he put, this is where we have the scene where he's like Shetana, we need you to take up your bow. We need you to help us to go after Yukimaru. We need you to go after Yukimaru. And pretty much that's pretty much the scene, which is really great, guys. I really enjoyed this scene here, because we know that Shetana he's really like 99% like just straight by the book. He's like, look, we're giving orders, this is what we're supposed to do, we do it. But this scene just shows that he really does care about Yukimaru during this conversation with Makaba, and Makaba was able to convince him. You could just tell that he was able to convince him, like, look, you need to come with us, and we need to go save Yukimaru and Fena, all of us together right now. Now back with the bell and Fena here, he basically showed her the picture of her mother. They're having a conversation, and we find out that Abel was painting this picture of her mother. He said that he wasn't done. He felt like it just wasn't perfect, because it still doesn't capture the true essence of her beauty. But he still wants to try to continue to paint it, to try to finalize it, to get it 99% sure, at least 99% sure that it is perfect and her image. But during this conversation, though, and even including him showing her the necklace, this heart, the blue-shaped heart necklace here, that Fena figures out that Abel is in love, was in love with her mother, and with that, sparks the continuation of Abel trying to gain the key information in Fena's mind that she can't remember, and as far as when it's come pertaining to Adine, and getting there and finding out this information that he tells her. He even like grabs her by the face, and he's like I need to know. He basically tells her, like, I need to know if she loved me, because Fena was even asking, like, did she reciprocate those same feelings that you had towards her. And he basically was telling Fena, like, while holding her face, like, I need to know if indeed, Helena loved me. If she did, why did she do something specific? This is what he was asking her. Well, saying, like, why did she? He said, like, why did she take? But he couldn't. He just couldn't finish his sentence. But this was just something that he brought up. And again, like, we knew that to be the truth anyway. That he did indeed. He was indeed in love with her mother, just from his interaction with the picture itself. Here. Even from, I believe it was episode 5. So, there's there's that dynamic when it's pertaining to these specific 3 people, Fena, Abel, and Helena, her mother. But just like at the end of the episode where Amali was leaving, she was upset, definitely jealous, because she felt like Fena was taking her place in the relationship that she had with Abel, because she did it like Abel, and she felt like they were. Me personally, I kind of felt like she believed that they were a couple, and she basically felt like, because she remember she saw that Fena was wearing that same blue heart shaped necklace, um, and in last week's episode, and that's when she attacked Fena last week, that she decided to take her crew and just decided to actually attack Abel's boat. They started firing their cannons at their boat and everything like that, here in episode 7, which sparks which just like sparks, just, yeah, let's talk about what's getting ready to happen next. So Abel, once they figure out that the Rumbling Rose, Amali's ship and crew, are coming back, and they're firing on Abel's ship here, him and the captain have a conversation. They're discussing and they're assessing the whole situation. This is when Abel tells the captain, like, look, we need to go on ahead and use this specific cannon to fire back at them, and that cannon is the Wellington Cannon. The captain's like, dude, like, that's a prototype. We haven't fully tested it yet. We need to not use that. But Abel's like, Captain, just follow my orders, dude. Let's just get it done. Guys, literally, it's about to go down in the next image. Yeah, let's talk about it. I want to definitely mention here in this spot here that Yukimaru is indeed in the vicinity. He's closing in to the boats. But again, as we all remember, he left on his own. So he that's the thing. He doesn't know that his the Shetana and crew are on their way, but he definitely he's literally closing in on the boats. But again, let's talk about what happens next. And so, as ordered, the crew they grab the guys, like it literally the cannon that they're using, and the weapon that they're they're applying, right? Guys, like, this thing looks, that's the thing, like, it looks like a humongous bullet, right? As you can see here, it looks like a gigantic bullet. But this just does not describe what's getting ready to happen in the next image. Check this out. Guys, just look at the how powerful this shot is from Abel's boat firing that specific weapon. Sheesh. Like, sheesh, son. Like, I am still blown away. And I just finished watching this episode several minutes ago. But I'm just really blown away by, first and foremost, just how the cannon fired on its own before impact. But even with describing just this moment here, it does not compare to what happens next. And that is the sheer and utter destruction of the Rumbling Rose. Press F in the chat for the boat itself. It literally, as you can see, did head on just it's still so hard to describe. There's like really no words to describe this moment once that cannon fired and the impact occurred. There's nothing to describe it but the total on destruction of Rumbling Rose right now in this moment, just literally 10 to 15 seconds after the shot. Just wow, guys. I'm still just blown away by this moment in episode 7. Totally, just truly just blown away. I'm just still a loss of words, guys. I really am. Once again, press F in the chat for the Rumbling Rose. That one shot literally just totally just destroyed the Rumbling Rose. It is no more. Crew are basically dead and gone. Well, at least that's what I'm believing. But at the same time, as always, you wanna definitely say no body, no death. Just because they show Amalia just before the boat fully explodes. She calls out Sezabel's name just before the boat officially blows up. But again, I'm gonna 99% assume that she is dead and gone. But again, no body, no death, because we don't see the body. But yeah, guys, R.I.P. the Rumbling Rose. But then we get an interesting flashback with Yukimaru, because he's assessing the damage of the Rumbling Rose. He literally finds a body that sort of looked like Fena, but it wasn't hers, because the body ends up, because of the way that the water is moving bodies floating in the water, the young lady's body flipped to its side and showed a scar on the side of her face. And again, he thought that it was Fena, but he was thinking like Fena was on this boat on the Rumbling Rose that just got destroyed. And then he has this flashback of him and Kay when they were younger, and of course he was a little boy here, and he's basically practicing fighting with Kay, and basically Kay is telling him, like, there's a reason why you keep losing, why you keep not being able to beat me, and that's because fear is ruling your heart. Your heart is timid, and it affect because you're allowing fear to rule you. It's affecting your limbs, stiffening them and everything like that. So you have to overcome this fear. You have to find a way to overcome it and defeat it, so that this way you can be able to fully function and be able to make sure that the job is getting done, and you'll be able to actually hit me. So I did indeed enjoy this flashback scene between Yukimaru and Kay. Now, in the midst of everything that basically transpired, roughly within the past 5 minutes in total, Fena starts having some flashbacks, because she's staring out at the red roses, utter destruction, and she keeps saying, like, it's red, it's red, it's burning, it's red. And then she has flashbacks of back when the attack happened, when she was a little girl. And what we do find out, because back on episode 1, if you remember in my review of, I want to say either episode 4 or 5, that Amali and Cruz were on the boat, attacking the boat when she was a little girl. But what we also find out during the scene is that she also is having flashbacks of like a bell, like I don't want to say like it's his specific crew members that were on the boat, but there were some gentlemen who were wearing the same outfits that Abel's crew members were wearing. Fena automatically assumed, because she was in shock and having these flashbacks, that she fell on her knees, and the crew member were coming to assess and check on her, making sure that she's okay. But she was having these flashbacks of these visions here of these 3 men who scared her when she was a little girl. So she automatically was being traumatized by this past memory and automatically assuming that these men approaching her here on the boat in her current at her current age are the same men at that time who were on the boat killing people in front of her when she was, just a little girl. So as this was happening, that's when she literally calls out to Yukimaru, and of course he has to show up. And indeed, Yukimaru does show up. Now the thing is that prior to him showing up, the captain told his men to basically take Fena and take her to the brig, and his men were saying like, well, this is supposed to be a Bell's guest, and the captain was like, his guest, huh? Well, I'm the captain of the ship, and I'll take full responsibility, take her to the brig. But again, like I said, Fena calls out to Yukimaru. He shows up. He chops down a couple of the men, and he basically tells them like, look, if any of you try to touch her, I will kill you. But while all this is going on, because the captain basically he orders his men to fire, somebody does indeed takes a shot, but it's somebody that we didn't see in this moment in time. The person who took the shot was indeed a Bell. He shows up very randomly, very very stealthily, I want to say, even though he's like right next, he's out of sight, but he still takes the shot, and there's two shots that happen. It hits Yukimaru in his left shoulder, and I want to say the bottom of his back. That's what I want to say, like the lower part of his spine. Definitely shocked. I really wasn't expecting this to occur. But this does indeed happen. And that's the thing, the captain himself was even shocked that the shot was taken. But I thought it was just some random person just like shooting out of fear. And I actually also thought that Fena was the one that got hit, but that's not the case at all. It was indeed Yukimaru. So definitely worried. Hopefully he'll be okay. But again, Abel's the one that takes the shot that hits Yukimaru here in this scene. Now eventually Shetana Cruz shows up, but the key thing to note, the captain was ordering the men, remember the captain was ordering the men to shoot at Yukimaru, and the fact that the men were saying, well, his guest is there, we don't want to shoot at her too and hit her as well. The captain still was like, look, I don't care, I want you to shoot them anyway. And like I said, just before that was getting ready to happen, Abel's the one that takes the shot, and then that's when Shetana and Cruz show up just in the nick of time to save the day, and they were able to get them off the boat. Makuba uses basically like a smoke screen. He fires it off on the boat, causes this big humongous smoke screen to be able to get them off the boat, and back to where they need to get back to their boat. So, good thing that they showed up just in time, because who knows what would have happened in that moment with everything going on. It just would have been just an interesting sight to see. But with that, guys, that pretty much was the episode in itself. They were able to get everybody back to the boat safely and everything, and do their thing to head back to where they were headed. But I did indeed enjoy episode 7. Just an all-out great episode. Again, RIP to the Rumlin Rose, Amalia, and her crew. Just sucks that they are gone. Just 7 episodes into the anime. So, but I did indeed enjoy episode 7 today. But with that, guys, let me know your thoughts. What did y'all think of episode 7 when you first sat down to watch it the first time? Leave some comments in the comment section below if you feel up talking about some stuff. But other than that, I will talk to y'all next time with more Fena Pirate Princess. Peace, guys.